Welcome to the new series Fun and Games, which is all about fun and games. No, I'm joking. It's about video games, different types of games, including RPG games. We might even get into some non-video games. Tune in to find out. So, hopefully by the end of this series you'll know your rhythm games from your RPGs. I am Phoebe, your friendly neighborhood nerd. And without further ado, let's get into the first topic, which is, ta-da, rhythm games. I'll go over what a rhythm game is, I'll introduce a few rhythm games to you, and finally we'll discuss their popularity. So first of all, the million-dollar question, indeed. What is a rhythm game? Well, its other name may give you a clue. They're also called music video games. So, exactly what it says on the tin. These are games that are focused on music and rhythm. They usually test the player's sense of rhythm. They usually require that you tap along to the beat or to the tune in any number of ways, including tapping on the screen, pressing a number of keys, or stamping on something. And one key term to know for rhythm games is that most rhythm games will call a playable song a map, which presumably refers to the way the notes or controls are mapped onto the song. So the first rhythm game I want to introduce to you today that you have definitely heard of, if not played yourself, is Taiko Master, or Taiko no Taitsujin. Forgive my Japanese. Anyway, this game is widespread all through Taiwan. If you've ever been in a Taiwanese game arcade and seen the big yellow and red machines with the two big drums in front of them, that's the one. Now, this game was released in the 2000s by a Japanese company called Bandai Namco, and it became popular throughout Asia mostly, and a large feature of these games were their accessibility, so they were available in a lot of stores, but also the music that they used covered a wide variety of different styles of music. So you have your J-pop, you have your anime music, video game music, but you also have things like classical music, or in the Taiwanese localized versions, you even have Mando pop, so Mandarin pop. So this, combined with its relatively simple gameplay, just two factors, middle of the drum, side of the drum, different combinations of the two, made it a very popular game in the 2000s, and even today it's still being played in many arcades. They even released a Switch version, so Taiko is still going strong. I'm not good at it, but it's fun. Another classic arcade game is Dance Dance Revolution, or DDR for short, or DDR if you're more used to hearing it said that way. DDR was released in 1998 by a Japanese gaming company called Konami, and it has enjoyed international success. So since the 90s, DDR has been pretty popular in various pop culture, in Hollywood movies and the like, and there are countless versions available on multiple consoles, so whether you have a PS1 or a Xbox, I don't know, there is probably a DDR version for you out there. But the most well-known version is probably the arcade version. So if you're ever watching a movie and the characters go to an arcade and they start playing a game and stamping around like crazy, that is probably DDR or a DDR reference. So, in contrast to Taiko Master, DDR uses original music, which means the music in DDR was composed specifically for DDR with DDR in mind. So this means DDR has its own distinct style of music, let's put it that way. Most of the songs in DDR are very fast-paced, J-pop, Eurobeat style. So think disco music, but with a hyperactive twist on it. And this fits the control, it fits the nature of the game. Players have a dance pad, or if you're playing on a console, then you use the controls, but where's the fun in that? Anyway, players have a dance mat with up, right, left, down controls, and they step along according to the instructions on the screen. And the end result, if you watch someone playing DDR, it looks a lot like dancing, hence the name Dance Dance Revolution. And rumour has it there is a movie DDR in the works. Whether or not this will actually happen is yet to be seen, but it does give you an idea of how popular this game is. Now, if you want a game that you can play in the comfort of your own home, and you like something Taiwanese produced or more indie, then anything produced by Rayark is probably to your taste. Rayark is an indie Taiwanese game company formed in 2011, and they have since released a wide variety of different types of games. But indeed their strong point is their rhythm games. Now their titles include things like Boaz, Deemo, Cytus, but for the sake of this video, I'll introduce Cytus 2. Now, the interesting thing about Cytus 2 in comparison to the other two titles I've mentioned before is that it has a story. So as you play the different maps and songs in Cytus 2, you gain different snippets of information, so transcripts of audio or videos or pictures. And all these come together to form an overarching narrative throughout the game. So this makes the experience a little bit different. So instead of just playing 2 or 3 songs and then signing off, you kind of dip in and out of the story as you play. So this also brings me to a bonus of this game, is that if you want to practice your English, there is an English translation of the game. If you go to another version of the App Store you are on, you will be able to download it. And it's pretty good, so if you want to practice your English reading skills while playing a game, I would recommend it. Well, for the actual gameplay, aside from the story, Cytus is pretty visually focused, so you have a sliding black bar that goes up and down the screen, and then you have to tap the circles along with the bar. And one major point for Cytus 2 is definitely its music. So Cytus 2 also uses original work like DDR. Many songs are instrumental, but there are songs with lyrics, and those with lyrics are mainly English, Japanese a lot, and a couple of Chinese songs in there as well. And one selling point, I should say, is the fact that there are different characters in Cytus 2, and each of the characters has a different visual design, but more importantly they have a different style or genre of music. I'd like to give you a short introduction into the different genres in Cytus Focus. There we go. So you have composers from Europe, Japan, Taiwan, America, all over the place. This is more pop, more electro pop, D&B, dubstep, more chill electro, punk rock, Vocaloid, rock with more focus on the electric guitar, classical music, classical pop, indie pop. Most of the Chinese songs are in here. This guy has jazz, more oriental question mark, more Chinese and Japanese style traditional music, and then the others are more different types of songs into one. Cytus 2 is free on iOS and it costs about 70 NT on Android. But if you want to play any of the other characters apart from the main 3 or 4 that you get, you will have to pay more. And for some this will be fine, but for some I know it will be a factor in deciding whether you play a game or not. And it's not like everyone owns a Switch or like everyone can go into an arcade and play DDR or Taiko Master. So in this case, the 4th game I want to introduce today is a free game called Osu. Osu is a PC game, you can play it on the computer, and it is completely free to download, completely free to play. It might seem hard to get used to at first, but once you get used to it, it's very addicting. The gameplay is similar to Cytus in that it covers the whole screen, but because you can't tap the screen on your computer, well, at least most computers, with most computers you can't. You have to use a touchpad or a mouse, or if you're a bit fancier, use a drawing tablet to control the game. And one major selling point of Osu, well, a major factor in Osu is that people can design their own maps. They can use their own music, upload their own songs, and design their own maps down to the tiniest visual detail. You can create it and personalize it. Therefore, you are not restricted to what songs they have in the game. Rather, you have a whole wide array of songs that you can choose from that other players have uploaded. Therefore, with this level of creativity, or with this room for creativity, Osu has a wide community of players, all eager to show off, eager to create, eager to test their skills. And unlike an arcade game or an app, Osu can be modded, which means it can be modified to suit the player's own tastes or needs. So an example of a Osu mod would be making the cursor spin and sparkly. That would be an Osu mod that some people would use to make it look more interesting. Here is an example of Osu's vibrant community. There's all these different discussions on different things. Here you can go to maps and you have all the different maps in the community. Just to give you an idea of what Osu is like, I'm bad at this by the way, just to give you an idea. This is no way representative of how it will be when you play it. You'll be a lot better, I hope. So again, you're just controlling with your mouse the things on the screen. Yeah, let's die. I've committed suicide. Aha! So that's it for this episode on rhythm games. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you all stay happy and healthy for the new semester, and I'll see you next time.